श्रीभगवानुवाच भूय एव महाबाहो शृणु मे परमं वचः यत्तेऽहं प्रीयमाणाय वक्ष्यामि हितकाम्यया.
In this chapter, Krishna doesn't wait for Arjuna to ask a question. He starts, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. O Mahabaho, mighty armed person, he's addressing Arjuna. Listen again to my supreme word. Wishing your welfare, I will speak to you who are delighted. Now, before we continue with this, let's take a look at the general overview of this chapter. The first 6 verses speak of my supreme nature, that is Brahman's, Atman. Every one of us should say, my supreme nature. The second topic, 7 to 11, speaks of how the wise attain me. The third topic, 12 to 18, is Arjuna's question. Arjuna is perplexed. He says, if God pervades the whole universe, how is it that I can't see God? And it's true for all of us. When we look out into the world, what do we see? We see chaos, we see traffic, we see congestion, we see economic meltdown, we see the stock market going, it's like the jokester in America said, that the United States has created a new weapon, a weapon that kills human beings and leaves buildings intact. And that is called the stock market. So, that being what it is, we see negativity, we see depression, we see all kinds of things. How is it that we don't see God? This is Arjuna's question. And Krishna's answer, my manifestations, verses 19 to 39, and he concludes the last 3 verses by saying, I exist beyond this universe. Arjuna, and he's referring to all of us. He says, why are you getting stuck with just the manifestations? Why are you getting stuck with the world? I exist beyond the world. So look there. Now he uses 4 distinct terms. He addresses Arjuna as Mahabaho. And the suggestion here is that you have to be physically fit even to continue the spiritual path. Most of us think of spirituality only when something goes wrong with us. So when you get a fracture, when you land up in hospital, something or the other goes wrong. No, Mahabaho. The first step is to be physically fit. In the Kenopanishad, he says, Om apyayantu mamangani vak pranaschakshushrotramatho balamindriyani cha sarvani. Meaning, let my limbs be strong. Let all my pranas be perfect. And it's only a physically fit person that can take on the arduous task of the spiritual journey, which is far more tiring and strenuous than running a marathon. We don't understand that. In the Ishavasya Upanishad, he says, Shatam Samaha, may you live 100 years. So, physically fit. Then, Priyamanaya. Priyamanaya, who has love for the knowledge, who has love for the teacher, for the teaching, who the starting point of the whole thing is a deep sense of devotion and love for what you're learning. Unless you have that love, you can't go through the journey. You can't start learning as a drudgery. Today in India, learning, education, knowledge is treated as drudgery. Right from the word go, from school. You ask a 5-year-old, how was your day in school? Terrible, I'm looking forward to the long weekend. Or the vacation. And we carry this right through. And the moment, if at all you read, it's because you're forced to read by the educational institution. The moment you pass out and you take a job, reading comes to an end. Learning comes to an end. No. Priyamanaya. Then Paramam Vachaha. What kind of knowledge is this? Profound knowledge, deep knowledge. Abstract, yes, but it has very, very tangible results and effects on our personality and our lives. So this knowledge is an absolute must. You can't even live without this knowledge. And the last that he says is hitakamyaya, wishing your welfare. All the great teachers, we have in this country a fantastic tradition of great masters, great teachers over many, many centuries. But every one of these great masters had only one objective for teaching, that is hitakamyaya, wishing your welfare. They had no axe to grind. They were not leveraging anything. There was nothing that they wanted in return except your welfare. And Krishna continues in this wonderful, noble tradition of hitakamyaya. Verse 2.